being from Berks County, I figured out I've led a pretty sheltered life. I didn't find out just how sheltered those I took a trip to New York City, and I wandered into a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood. First thought that comes to my mind and subsequently out of my mouth is, holy shit, there's Amish in New York. My girlfriend at the time was Jewish. She called everyone she knew. I didn't let that down to the day we split up, which is about the same time I found out that she was a 23-year-old thumbsucker. She really should put that on her dating profile. You know, online dating is popular these days, and I really think they should have date facts. Kind of like car facts, you should be able to, you know, that should have gone there. 23 years old and still sucks my thumb. I did meet my current girlfriend on an online dating site. If I hear plenty of fish.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay. First of all, I'm a human. Why the hell do I want to date a fish? But anyway, totally free dating site. You don't have to pay a dime. So every now and then we'll get into these arguments, and she'll start bitching about my little quirks. I don't do this, or I'm not responsible, or some shit like that. And I'm like, hey, you got what you paid for. If you want somebody who took things a little more seriously, you should have signed up for Match.com. I don't like that crap. But I had a Jeep Wrangler driving down the road the one day in the middle of summer. Top was off, sun was out, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, one of those flash thunderstorms. It just come on, no warning, no clouds, nothing, just downpour. And I look over at my girlfriend, and she's frantically rolling up her window. Not just rolling up her window, I mean, she's got her eye to the sky. It's like, well, that's why my ninja skills aren't working. I forgot to roll up my window. It was a devastatingly sad day for me, because I spent my entire life thinking I was a ninja, and one rainstorm comes along, and Mother Nature says, you're a dumbass, you're not a ninja, buy a fucking umbrella. I still try, though. Every now and then, like, I'm running through the raindrops going, go ninja, go, but I realize that only works if you're a turtle. Which I'm not. Let's take a drink of water. I'm battling a cold right now, and I've been, like, double dosing, triple dosing of vitamin C for, like, the past 2-3 weeks. And let me tell you, I'm just really glad you can't overdose on vitamin C, because I was petrified that I was going to wake up orange this morning. Round of applause. Where are my beer drinkers at tonight? I know you're out there.
There you go.
I'm a beer drinker myself. My favorite beer is Bud. Because it is the easiest thing to order when you're completely fucked up. Seriously, try ordering a Heineken when you're 3 cheers for a win. It ain't happening. But one syllable. Easy. So I read this article in the paper the other day, or some magazine. I think it was probably a tabloid. But it was about a guy who was being interviewed because he had been abducted by aliens. It was really believable. I mean, he went through this whole thing. He described the aliens. Some of them were green, some were white. He went through this whole thing about how he was strapped to the gurney, and they probed him, and they took brain scans. And the whole article was just so convincing. And then at the end of it, he said he caught a photograph of the spaceship. Sure enough, I turned the page, and there's a picture of the spaceship. It was then that I realized that this whole article was fake, because everybody knows Mexicans drive vans. We have any people who enjoy fishing here? It's okay to get a little loud, people. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not a big fishing person myself, but I know the people that are, and I'm not one of those advocates against fishing. Matter of fact, I think fish are stupid and deserve to get caught. I mean, think about it. The water is not the worm's natural habitat. But yet, on open day trout season, about 75 worms simultaneously commit suicide. And, you know, fish, they have these microscopic little memories. Like the one fish will see his buddy get caught, and feel like, oh. And that memory will only stick with him for a split second. And then a worm will drop in front of him. He's like, oh, fuck. There was something I forgot. I came up with a few things never to say to a cop. You know what, officer? I'm too drunk to get out. Why don't you get in? No, officer, I wasn't texting. That's illegal. I was updating my Facebook status. Gee, officer, I don't know why you smell weed. I finished that joint 5 miles back. So the economy's in pretty bad shape right now. I mean, even firehouses are downsizing. They're now using they're now using Chihuahuas instead of Dalmatians. But, you know, I do my part. I drink a lot of beer. And what do I drink? All right, you were all paying attention. You're alive. And I drink a lot of Bud because there are thousands of employees in breweries who need their jobs. I can get a new liver on the black market anytime I want. Jobs, they're hard to come by. So, but I'm doing all right in this economy. I check my bank account, and I have all the money I'm ever going to need if I die by 4 p.m. tomorrow. You have a backup plan now. I started writing some advertising slogans. I wrote a new advertising slogan for a condom ad. If you're not 100% satisfied with our product, Happy Father's Day. Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you because bed bugs attack in the dark. Wine, the green lemon. We helping Americans learn the metric system, 1/8 at a time. We're going to wait for that one to go legal before that. I started seeing a shrink recently. Apparently, it is disturbing to drop 10 grams into your coffee just to watch them drown. The sociopath is the word they use. But I started seeing shrinks as I've seen and most people start seeing shrinks. I've seen my mother drunk. You all thought I was going to say naked, didn't you? No. She was drunk. And apparently the sight of her doing bomb dives into the couch was just too much for me to handle. Imagine being 13 years old and walking in the living room and see your mother reenacting her barber. Over and over again. I am now medicated for life. Have you ever looked at the side effects of your medication? It's got out little pamphlets that come with it. You know, read it. It may cause death. Death? Really, death? Well, at least that headache will go away. Well, I'm a big advocate of pot as a medication because the only side effect that gives you is the intense need to watch South Park and dive headfirst and go back to As I do love the herb. I do. And you know, if anybody ever doubts that God smoked pot, just look at the duck-billed platypus. No other explanation for that. And, you know, I don't really buy the whole marijuana being a gateway drug thing, because never once have I ever smoked a joint and said, hey, you know what's going to go good with this? Some meth. Some heroin. Never happened. Yeah, and they say that weed causes memory loss, but I don't believe that either. I'll tell you why I don't believe that. I don't believe that because, you know, it's really not why I don't believe that. I just don't believe it. I'll tell you what it does do, though. It does promote good driving habits. They did a study recently, and the state of Colorado was ranked #1 in safe drivers. And this totally makes sense, because I've been to Colorado, and it's like Amsterdam in the United States. Instead of a bar on every corner, there's a pot shop on every corner. And it makes perfect sense, because everybody out there is stoned. A truck driver, he's going to plow right through a stop sign. Not even know it's there. Take out 20 people, not even remember doing it the next morning. A stone driver, he's going to stop at that stop sign. And he's waiting for that selfish turn lane.
Mommy!
You know, whenever I'm at a crossroads in life, I think to myself, what would Jesus do? And then I get exactly the opposite, because getting nailed to the cross is the final result. And it just sounds painful to me. So we're in 2012 now, and you know, the world's supposed to come to an end in December. I really don't subscribe to that theory because, you know, when I run out of room on my calendar, I just buy a new one. But I do have an aunt that does subscribe to that theory, and she's going nuts, stocking up on all this canned food and everything else. And she had me and my mom take her to Sam's Club one day because she wanted to buy all this stuff to put in her basement, like a little storage shed or whatever. And my mom has 5 dogs. So she's just doing her basic grocery shopping. She's buying bags of dog food for her dog. And my aunt starts freaking out on her. You can't do that. You gotta worry about yourself. The end of the world's coming. Don't worry about your dogs. Worry about yourself. My mom didn't know how to handle this. I'm like, look, we're just thinking ahead. While you're sitting in your little hole with 50 million cans of refried beans, we're fattening them up and having steak. A million Chinese people can't be wrong. I was thinking of Chinese food. I love Chinese food. I really do. But recently I haven't been able to eat it. I like break out hives, swell up like a big balloon. I couldn't figure out why. Then I went to the doctor. It turns out I have an allergy to cat cheese. That's my first time doing that one. Not good a shot. I watch a lot of